I'm not a big breaking news guy. As you know, I can't get down here to the studio all the time. I don't work from home, and so it's difficult to get down here and get a video out when something is breaking. But breaking news today coming out of the Brandon Aiyuk camp. He took to social media again and is fulfilling that classic stereotype of wide receiver drama. And he posted a new video today, and it has a ton of questions. We have a lot to talk about. Big topics on today's channel. Who thought that today, Monday, in the middle of off-season, no training camp, no OTAs, we'd have so much to talk about. By the end of this video, I think you'll be leaving feeling optimistic if you stick it to the end, despite what appears to be some bad news for the San Francisco 49ers. If you're new here, we are talking the San Francisco 49ers every single day. I'm Nate. This is Sports Talk San Francisco, and it really helps me out if you hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Well, the breaking news is this. Brandon Aiyuk said, presumably, that the 49ers don't want him back. He was talking to Jada Daniels, former teammate at ASU. He used the words, they don't want me back. I can even show you the original post by Ari Merov here. And, oh man, guys, this is kind of a crazy one. This is a crazy one for a lot of reasons. And we don't know, of course, what this means. Brandon Aiyuk did not specifically say, did not explicitly go out there and say San Francisco 49ers. He didn't say that. But it is definitely the assumption. And we've talked about this in the past, or maybe actually it wasn't our channel. It was actually a conversation I had with somebody else, not on the channel. But in the past, I have talked about this with social media posts and these players and what they're doing, and they know what they're doing. When Brandon Aiyuk did the getting fed social media posts a few weeks back, he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew how it would be interpreted. So there's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack, even though it was just a simple phrase. They don't want me back, I swear. They said they don't want me back, I swear. Okay, there's a lot there. I want to first just get into my immediate thoughts, and I want to just throw out there, I'm going to be talking about a lot of different angles on this, and I want you to feel comfortable commenting on every single one of them, however many you want to. Obviously, I'm not expecting you to comment on all of them, but let me know what you think about some of these, because I'm asking myself a lot of questions related to this. The first one is Brandon Aiyuk just playing a game? Is he just messing around, or is this really serious? Because even in the video, he's kind of laughing a little bit, but it's kind of like an awkward laugh that you might have with your friend if you're like admitting something that's kind of unbelievable, that could be just hiding how he really feels, right? So I don't want to act like it's for sure just a game, but is Brandon Aiyuk just playing a game? Is this just business? Is Brandon Aiyuk intentionally just trying to raise the level of conversation around him and keep that conversation level high so that the 49ers feel that there's a lot that they have to do to put pressure in the camp in some way, shape, or form? This isn't, of course, most recently, this isn't how the Christian McCaffrey deal got done. And so for sure, there's an element here where you're like, man, couldn't we have gone about this a different way? Christian McCaffrey is quiet. News comes out same day, hours before, that Christian McCaffrey is interested in a new deal. Boom, deal done. Obviously, the conversations were in talks for a long time. These kind of things don't happen overnight. They take a long time to put together. So a lot of back and forth between the agents and the team. There's a lot going on there. And yet, Christian McCaffrey was able to get a deal done in a really quiet way. And I'm not an agent. I'm not a sports agent. I didn't go to school for sports agency. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this particular. I'm just a fan. But I have to wonder, why can't all players go this route? Is there something to what Brandon Aiyuk is doing? Is what I'm getting at. Is there something to it? Is he doing something that is special, that's intentional, that's premeditated? Is he doing something intentional by making a big fuss out of this, thinking that this is going to help his chances in getting deal done? Now, he's not going to get in the graces of the 49ers fan base anymore by doing this. This is not going to help his cause with the 49ers, especially because the 49ers, presumably through Mike Silver, made sure that everybody else knew, that a deal was on the table. That seems like a perfectly fair deal. At $26 million, that is on an average of $26 million per year. That would be the type of deal that I would easily, comfortably say is in that top 10 range, and is going to be, even after the CeeDee Lamb deal gets done, in the top 10 range. So the offer is good. The opportunity for Brandon Aiyuk to meet in the middle supposedly is there, around that $28-29 million mark. And we're sitting here just wondering about it. This is so interesting. Now, of course, we've had deals like this before. Bosa, Debo. This is not the first time a player has held out and things have gotten kind of shaky, and the not really knowing if the deal is going to get done. Risking the fan base no longer loving you very much and no longer being in your good graces. So this is going to be an interesting one, or excuse me, you're no longer being in their good graces. Is the timing right to trade Brandon Aiyuk? It's another question that comes up when you think about this. I think the obvious answer is no. This is not a good situation to trade Brandon Aiyuk. This is not the time you want to be trading him. This is not the opportunity to trade him. That opportunity is gone. And if you wanted to trade him, you had opportunities before the draft. That would have been the time to do it. And obviously the 49ers, their camp has maintained, the whole 49ers administration has maintained, they want Brandon Aiyuk to stay in red and gold. So that's the goal. They want him here. But obviously the two parties have to come to an agreement. And I think this is a bad time to trade him. I think the 49ers completely messed this whole thing up if this falls out now. If the 49ers can't come to an agreement with Brandon Aiyuk, they've made a big mistake, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. I look forward to joining you in the comments. It's going to be an interesting one to talk about. But I think if a deal is going to get done, is not going to get done with Brandon Aiyuk, then you should have traded him when you had the chance. I'm sure they were obviously open to it, and I'm sure they didn't get the offer that they wanted, which is why they didn't do it. And I think what they were probably looking for was a top 10 first-round draft pick, somewhere in that range. And I think they would have done it for a top 10. That's just purely speculation. I don't have anything to base that off of, just my own intuition. I think they could have done it. So if they do get rid of Brandon Aiyuk in some way, shape, or form, another question that comes up is, can Brock Purdy elevate this offense without Brandon? Can they elevate it without BA on the field? Can Brock Purdy do it? Because this is a question people have been asking a lot over the last week. I was just listening to 95.7 The Game today, and they were talking about this exact thing. What's going to happen with Brock Purdy when he gets put in a position where he has a suspect, quote-unquote, receiver? And are you ever going to see a suspect receiver in Kyle Shanahan's offense? Yeah, I guess we have, right? We've seen some. But right now, even if you have a suspect receiver on this team right now, there are so many weapons the defense is scheming against. It's still not the same, right? It's still not the same. This team is too talented. So if Brock Purdy can't elevate the offense without BA on the team, then it does call into question, is he in the $55 million range at the end of this season? What's going to happen? What are our playoff chances, man? There are a lot of questions related to this. To be clear, like, no one player is bigger than the football team, right? I don't know any of you, but like, no 49ers fans I know are giving up being 49ers fans if person A, B, or C leaves the team, right? Maybe you'd be a little bit begrudgingly at times 49ers fans, but you're a fan if that's what a fan is, right? So obviously I want to get that out there, but I do think that Brandon Aiyuk is a great player. I do think that he was the number one he was the number one target in the receiving game. He was the number one wide receiver, obviously, in terms of yards, the whole kit and caboodle. And I think that we're a better team with him. Just my thoughts. We're a better team with him, and I don't want to see Brandon Aiyuk in a different jersey next season. That being said, we might not have a chance. We might have an option. It might not be in the realm of our within our control, right? 49ers have put a number out there. They've offered it, and if they don't budge and Brandon Aiyuk doesn't budge, then who knows? My gut my gut is this is just the same as any other, drama offseason where the deal is going to get done in the end. And the fans are going to be mad at him. They're going to be mad at the club for paying him so much money. And then he's going to go out there, he's going to make a couple great catches, and we're going to be glad he's wearing red and gold. That's my gut, if that's just my guess. But let me know what you think. Is the deal off the table now? Is this indicative of where things are going? Or is this just Brandon Aiyuk fooling around? Is he making it up? Is it even true? Are the 49ers going to come out later today and just say, no, we didn't say that. We never said that. We want Brandon Aiyuk to be a part of this team. We'll have to see, man. Does anybody have a Brandon Aiyuk counter going on this video? My goodness, I feel like I've said his name about 100 times. The other possibility I should throw out there too before I end this video, this is a weird breaking news kind of video. I don't normally do these kinds of videos, but the other thing that's to be totally fair, Brandon Aiyuk could just be rephrasing things as well. Intentionally or unintentionally, could be rephrasing things in a way that sound a little bit more, not clickbaity, but that kind of thing, kind of get people's attention sort of deal. Is that what's going on here? I don't know. This is fascinating stuff. I love talking sports with you guys. Love talking 49ers. I'll add to one other thing while we're talking about it. Okay, Brandon Aiyuk is a fantastic player, but I just want to remind you. I mean, my goodness, when I say "what a time to be alive" at the end of this whole season, that's going to be my phrase. And there's a reason. I think it'll be my phrase. I mean, unless 49ers give me a reason not to. Look at the team, guys. Don't forget who we have here. This is just crazy. If you take Brandon Aiyuk out of this team, yes, it's a loss. But Juwan's going to have a bigger role, right? Ricky Pearsall is going to have a bigger role. Jacob Cowling's going to get some more touches, right? You still have the best tight end in the game, at least in the conversation, if he's not the best. You still have Debo. And maybe this changes what Debo looks like going forward. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Of course, you still have Christian McCaffrey in the receiving game, a massive part of his job and role. Maybe in some ways, shapes, or forms, this is actually not the end of the world for the 49ers. Again, I think we're a better team with Aiyuk. I think we are. But at the end of the day, I'm still feeling wildly optimistic about what our team does this season. And maybe there are some moments similar to what we've seen in the postseason. Aiyuk had some moments where he was missing on the field and we needed him. Maybe this opens up the opportunity for things to shake up just a little bit, just that extra little notch. Who knows? This is going to be a crazy season. This is going to be a crazy off season. I hope a deal gets done, but if it doesn't, I'm still optimistic and I still think it's a great time to be alive.